Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is still forming this falling wedge pattern, but on top of that, I'll be going over some important on-chain analysis for Ethereum, so definitely stick around for that. And towards the end of this video, I'll be talking about the potential altcoin season that could begin if we break this exact level on this chart. If that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on, because you're going to be getting update videos just like this every single day. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here on the Ethereum to USDT chart on the 12-hour time frame, and as I mentioned in the intro of this video, we are still clearly forming this falling wedge pattern that I have been talking about for the last few days now. So I'm not going to spend too much time again on this today. Basically, for the brand new viewers on the channel, all you need to know is this line of resistance coming in at around $4,050 approximately, and this line of support's coming in at just above 3.6k. And so obviously, if the price of Ethereum breaks below support, that is bearish, and if we break above resistance, that is bullish. And this specific type of pattern, a falling wedge pattern, is known as a bullish pattern because out of every 10 falling wedge patterns that we see, around 7 times out of 10 they break to the upside, and about 3 times out of 10 they break to the downside. So they're simply more likely to break to the upside, but it's still not impossible for it to break to the downside. And with that being said, if we break above resistance, then the technical price target is simply the top of the wedge coming in close towards 4.7k. Something else that I mentioned yesterday was, of course, this level of support coming in at around 3,650. That's an important level of support because of a few different reasons. First of all, this exact level was previous resistance for Ethereum, and anytime we break above resistance, that normally flips into new support, and that's exactly what's been happening recently. As you can see, we have found support along this exact level, and on top of that, bringing out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the July low up to the all-time high, this is the 38.2% Fibonacci level coming in at around 3,650. And on top of all of that, looking in the VPVR indicator on this daily time frame, by the way, for Ethereum, the next major cluster of volume to the downside starts at around 3.6k, just below 3.6k. So those are the sort of prices that should be acting as major support for Ethereum. And once again, that is nothing new for the subscribers out there. We have been talking about that already on this channel. Now getting into some new content that I did not cover yesterday, which is this chart just here. And by the way, the black line is the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the daily time frame, and the purple line just here is the estimated leverage ratio across all exchanges for Ethereum. In other words, this purple line is the open interest across exchanges divided by the amount of Ethereum sitting on those exchanges. And you can think of open interest as essentially borrowed money. So when this purple line just here, the estimated leverage ratio across all exchanges for Ethereum spikes to the upside, that is when the majority of the market is highly leveraged in either leverage long positions or leverage short positions. And so it is very common, if we see a lot of bullish price action, we see quite a significant spike to the upside in this ratio as more and more people start piling into leverage long positions, and then eventually the market flushes out all of that open interest, all of those long positions, in the form of a long squeeze in most cases, and that's where we see a collapse in the open interest. And after we see that happen, it becomes safer for Ethereum to begin to bottom out and head back to the upside. But in some instances, when the overall market is looking really bearish and the majority is jumping into leverage short positions like what was happening back during June and July, then we can still see a major spike in the amount of leverage to the upside, but they're just in short positions, not long positions. And so in that case, we can actually see a short squeeze, which pushes the price to the upside later on. And so what we've seen over the past 1 to 1.5 months is basically a nice pullback in the open interest, or this estimated leverage ratio, I should say. And so obviously this is great to see because this is the correction doing what it's supposed to do, which is flushing out a lot of those over leveraged long positions that jumped in towards all-time highs, which will give us more room to the upside later on in the coming months. And you might be wondering, well, right now we're actually at much higher levels compared to where we were at these previous market bottoms for Ethereum. But remember, that's because this chart just here doesn't show the open interest by itself. This purple line shows the open interest divided by the Ethereum reserve on exchanges, the amount of Ethereum on exchanges. And so if the amount of Ethereum on exchanges is decreasing, then that is obviously decreasing the denominator here, which will naturally increase this purple line right here if Ethereum is getting withdrawn from exchanges. And that is exactly what is happening right now on this chart just here. You can see the total amount of Ethereum sitting on exchange wallets. I'll just quickly hide my face cam so you can see the price action behind me. But what we can see here is basically for this entire year, just about, Ethereum has been constantly getting withdrawn from exchanges, with the exception of a couple short-term time periods, like for example, back during May, just before we experienced a major crash in Ethereum. Because of course, if Ethereum gets deposited back onto exchanges, usually that means people are wanting to to sell that Ethereum. But when Ethereum gets withdrawn from exchanges, that means it's not really going to be sold, because besides over-the-counter trades, the way to sell Ethereum is through an exchange. But more recently, since around the beginning of November, we have seen the Ethereum balance across all exchanges remain relatively stable. And so this could be one reason why we have been experiencing some short-term bearish price action over the past 1.5 months. But something else that is important for Ethereum holders to know is this chart right here. This is still the same time frame, and the black line is still the Ethereum to US dollar chart, but this purple line just here shows the total amount of Ethereum that has been staked under the Ethereum 2.0 deposit contract. So basically, as this purple line increases, that is locking away more and more Ethereum away from the available supply, which is technically making Ethereum scarcer and scarcer as this line moves to the upside. And as of right now, at the time of filming this video, the total amount of Ethereum that has been locked up in the Ethereum 2.0 deposit contract is approximately 8.64 million Ethereum, which equals 34 billion US dollars approximately. So once again, that 34 billion US dollars worth of Ethereum is no longer in the available supply that can be easily bought. So this is a very bullish sign for Ethereum's longer term, but not necessarily in the shorter term. I want to make that clear. Now, talking about a possible altcoin season, I did touch on this in my Bitcoin update video that I just posted on the channel. But what we've got right here is the Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily time frame, and you can see that over the past few days, the Bitcoin dominance has dropped back to the downside in the immediate short term, down towards this line of support, coming in at about 40%. And so first of all, I want to make it clear that it is still a strong possibility that the Bitcoin dominance could see a bounce at this support line here, and if that's the case, that could be bearish for the altcoins compared to Bitcoin. But if the Bitcoin dominance comes down and breaks below 40%, breaks below 39%, and down towards the lower 30% range, then that would be incredibly bullish for the overall altcoin market compared to Bitcoin, also known as an altcoin season if that happens. And this short-term drop in the Bitcoin dominance over the past couple of days is exactly why we've seen a short-term bounce back to the upside over the past couple of days in the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame. The price that Ethereum needs to hold above in order to remain bullish on this chart is coming in at around 0.076 Bitcoin per Ethereum, and if we are to remain above that level, then the technical price target for this pattern is coming in at around 0.1 Bitcoin per Ethereum. If you want to get bonus crypto content completely for free and real-time updates on the crypto markets, definitely make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. If you got value out of this video, please make sure to leave a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future updates. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of this year, and with all of your amazing support on the channel, I really think we can do that. And as always, I honestly do appreciate every single one of you. But anyway, that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next video.